Okay, I've done my research and my paper thus far, my first draft, on social networking and the different age cohorts. So more or less, you're looking at your different ages from your teens to your people 50 and older, and the different ways that they use social networking sites such as Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, and etc. The first line of my paper, I'm just going to do a quote from it just to get started with, but I stated that the social media has become one of the most significant ways in the past years to attain anything from news to just keeping in touch with older friends from school. Just a few short years ago, like the social networking sites weren't even really thought of, but now it's getting to the point where you can't even go to your day-to-day life without maybe keeping up or checking in on it. Just logging in once or twice a day. It's become a big thing with I don't know, it's changed the way people communicate, I guess, in a different aspect. It's not so much face to face, but it's kind of opened different doors because you can keep up in different ways with other people and communicate, such as seeing pictures of them. You can comment on that or stuff like that on Facebook. The main idea in this is it's not really seen as you see more businesses, I guess, nowadays getting onto it and advertising, but it's still something for everyone. Different ages, whatever, and you can use it for so many various ways. I guess that's kind of my point. It's gotten to the point though, if you aren't using it, you're almost out of the loop, which is kind of a bad thing. I feel like. But in one of his articles, Aaron Smith stated that two-thirds of adults that get online use a social media account, such as your Facebook, Twitter, or MySpace, which is a very significant amount due to the fact that if you're looking at every person that gets onto the internet as a young adult or just adults period that is getting on for work, they're getting on for just their own pleasure, whatever, but they're still part of this phenomenon as a social networking site. Um, the significance behind all this is, like I said, my topic being that, who are the main users of the social networking site. But the main thing I've found in the research is that I don't feel like there is a main group necessarily. You have your different age cohorts, such as, you have your teens, your young adults, and then your ones, say, 50 and older. And all of these use it in a slightly different way, and that's the whole point behind my research. Um, it's not just a place for the teens. It's not somewhere just killing time anymore for most people. Um, and like I said, there's a lot of people. You're looking at ages 40 and above, and they're all just jumping on the bandwagon. A quote from Mary Madden states that social networking among internet users ages 50 and older has nearly doubled from 22 to 42%. I'm sorry, in just the past year, which is a very significant change if you think about just how that look at that number compared to the entire population of, say, just the U.S. They're more or less getting on to it for what it offers. Like if they're moving from, say just email, there's a lot more that Facebook or Twitter can offer than just sending a strict email with just an attachment. With you post one photo and anyone that's one of your friends on Facebook can comment on it. It's a more open site, I guess. More or less, to get to the point, there's a large difference in the different age cohorts for the social networking sites. To get started, though, say we're looking at the teens. Um, I've read and I kind of seen this just having younger siblings. It's just a different way to interact outside of school. It almost has become a sort of a social life for a younger child. At that point, they're not able to leave the house, kind of thing. They don't have a license. So their life outside of school is to get onto these sites and communicate back and forth, joke, and that's kind of their livelihood, I would say. It's also kind of a look at their first glimpse of independence. It can be because if they use it wrong, then they can learn a lesson from stuff, lying about their age. I know that I've read a bunch of articles that saying that was a big thing. Um, but it's also, I read that a majority of them use Facebook because of the things it has to offer. It has, on there you can chat, you can, like I said, comment back and forth. It's more of a conversation, and it's easier for them to keep up the social life kind of thing. Whereas you look at the older crowd, and Twitter's kind of the bigger thing. It's more, how would I say it? I don't know. You just kind of do like a saying or an idea, you just post it, and it's not really conversation back and forth, just something quick and easy. And on with that, the younger adults, it's not used as much for a social life because at that point, as a younger adult, you have more freedom, you're doing more things outside of the house and that kind of thing. Um, it's more looked at like you get on there, look at pictures, like just looking at your college lifestyle. You get on there, you look at pictures, you see the parties from the weekend before, you see what everyone's been doing. I work at a local bar here. We actually use Facebook as one of our main things, taking pictures at the bar and then posting them on there. People get to see people out and having that. It's the same thing, but younger adults look at it, and at the same time, we're using Facebook as a type of business venture sort of thing. You can also keep up, just as a younger adult, you can use it to keep up your family. My parents get on there all the time and see what I'm up to, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not really sure. But going along with that, we just go to the middle-aged people and above. And as I said, there's a slightly different thing with them when the social networking sites. It's not for the social life anymore. They have their own social life. They don't need that. They don't log on daily like us college kids do, sitting on our phones all day in class. It is a more of a just kind of random thing. Hop on there and catch up. They look at a lot of the photos and stuff. I've noticed just my experience with my parents, my grandparents. They like to look at their friends and their families, and then like more or less the friends of the families, and to see like the pictures of their grandkids and that kind of thing. That way they might have moved away, but they can still keep in touch and be able to have like know what they look like and have the idea. And I know like my grandparents like it a lot. I'm trying to think. As I said, there's more photo browsing as far as their stuff goes, but I don't know. More or less to conclude, you can't just assume that social networking sites are just for teens, because that's one of the big things. And I guess the main point behind my researching this, because it isn't anymore. It isn't a big thing just for the teens. I mean, you're looking at, as I said, just in the past year, you almost doubled with your people ages 50 and above the use of the sites. So looking at that, that's a very large number. But it's gotten to the point, like I said, everyone is using it and just using it in their different ways, and that's the main point. It's a type of social life for some, and then for others, it's just simply a way to keep in touch. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.